Hello Reptile Nation. I'm here with Pete Bandre at Incredible Pets, and I'm asking for his help in fighting S373. S373 is the Senate companion bill that seeks to end the importation and interstate transport of 9 types of pet snake. Pete, thanks for agreeing to do this with me for your customers and for the rest of the reptile owners across the United States.
Well, I'm happy to help. This is a very important issue, and it really adversely affects the industry as a whole. And on our home ground here, it affects us very, very personally. We make our living on selling exotic snakes. We're a full-line reptile or full-line pet store, but the majority of our income comes from exotic reptiles. And being in the state of Florida, where this bill came from, where it's sponsored from, and the fact that it's supposed to be addressing a state problem, which is the feral Burmese python down in the Everglades, we're not only very familiar with it, but we're also very involved in the feral Burmese python situation. What we're doing for that and with the state is working. It has a positive effect. What this bill does is a negative effect, not only for the whole situation with the feral Burmese pythons, because in my opinion, it's probably going to cause more animals to be released, but also in the fact that it destroys an industry that's billions of dollars, and it still doesn't address the problem.
That's right. And actually the U.S. Chamber of Commerce agrees with you. They do not support S373, which is a huge endorsement for our industry. Pete, you actually were talking to me earlier about a unique way that you contribute to getting Burmese pythons out of the state of Florida with the reptiles of concern.
That's true, Jonathan. The state game officials have enacted an ROC program that some people are familiar with. ROC stands for Reptiles of Concern. It includes the Burmese python, and if you want to have one, or if you already had one before the ROC licensing went in, these new rules require that you have a license. If you don't want to get one, or you can't afford one, or you don't qualify for one, you have to give your animal up. So there's one source of python that comes out of the loop from people that have these animals and either won't get licensed or don't want to get licensed or just want to give them up. Other animals that are found by animal control or found in the process of people being outside and finding pythons that are feral end up generally at either animal control facilities or get channeled through state officials to places like Incredible Pets. We get quite a few feral Burmese pythons, quite a few unwanted pets, and what we do, because we have no cost involved in these, is we advertise them generally on internet sites like kingsnake.com or something like that. We sell them very reasonably. We move them out of the state. They go to quality places where they're used for breeding and remain in the trade without causing any problem, and it's a source of the removal of these snakes out of the state of Florida. This bill stops all that. It cuts that off completely. So in even that aspect of the bill, it's flawed. I mean, every way you look at this bill, it's something that's either damaging, stops something that's positive that's happening for the whole cause that this bill was supposed to be enacted for, or it destroys industry.
Absolutely. And your business certainly wouldn't be the only one affected. There are hundreds, if not thousands, across the nation of the businesses that would be adversely impacted by this bill. Pete, why don't you share with us what you're going to be willing to do to help fight S373 at the store level with the involvement of your customers?
Well, with the the addition of a pre-written letter which really describes where our stance is on the python ban, as well as sheets on frequently asked questions to educate customers, we're able to get information in the hands of customers that are concerned about this. We have a lot of reptile customers, and in general up to 1,000 people may come into our store on any given day on the weekend. And a large majority of these people are interested in reptiles and very educated. They're up on a lot of this, but this gives them the sort of the fine-tuning of the information that they need to know. And it gives them a letter that states their opposition to S373, which they can sign. We're going to then go ahead and gather these up together and make sure that they get up to Washington so they can be used to show opposition on just our grassroots level on this area right here. I know there's thousands of people across the country that are really concerned about this, and it's really time that we mobilize and make sure that people know that not only this is a really bad bill, but if something like this passes, we are not being represented. by our Congress, and we want to be represented. This is an important issue.
Absolutely. And just so everybody at home knows, the deadline to get these letters in to the lobbyist working for USARC, his name is Tom Wolf. The deadline is January 12th. And the website that you want to go to find this information for yourself, to print out this form letter and write your name on and send it in, the website's www.kill-s373.com. And Pete, I think that pretty much wraps everything else. It wraps everything up. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to this?
Well, I just appreciate the efforts of USARC. An organization like that can organize everybody to make sure that our voice is heard is really, really critical. And this is time to really get active. The last time they tried this, HR 699, that was 669. That was a devastating bill if it went through, and the Reptile Nation really rallied and really showed that we can act as like one cohesive voice. Well, it's more important now than ever to do that again, and we're going to do everything that we can. I guarantee, Jonathan, by the end of this weekend, we're going to have 1,000 of these letters minimum, and we'll have more by the time the deadline hits, and they're going to get into the hands of people that need to see it.
That's fantastic. And Pete, just to share your contribution, why don't you let them know how many letters that Incredible Pets produced to fight HR 669?
Over 5,000 just in one day for opposition to that bill, and we continued after that as long as we could, and all told there was about 6,500 letters that just came from this store. But there's a lot of people all across the United States that really need to make this priority, and I think everybody can do their share and show that there's some serious opposition to this bill. It needs to be stopped.
Absolutely, and I think you're definitely doing more than your share, and we all thank you for that.
Well, I'm happy to help. Yeah, I'm happy to help.
Again, that website is www.kill-s373.com. Go there, print out your letters, get them into Tom Wolf by January 12th. We thank you for your time today, and good luck in the fight.